Welcome. You are viewing AM Prime right here on the content capital WESN. Well, we're once again at the middle of the work week with the weekend just on the horizon, teasing us. It's coming, it's coming. So let's keep pushing. Let's take a look at the Newsday newspaper headlines for today. Business magnate Sydney Knox dies. Reigning Queen of Carnival Chanel Bazan dances during her presentation her 2023 portrayal of Ruth, Queen of the Oceans of Humanity, during the theatrical presentation outside the Trinidad Theatre Workshop in St. Clair yesterday. That's a pretty costume on the front page of the Newsday newspapers. And also, Kamala writes C.J. Archie clears the air on mystery file, asking to clear the air on the mystery file. Now, as we know, the alleged disappearance of the file, well, it has been found. The Attorney General has not stated how it has been found, but Opposition Leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar is asking for the Chief Justice Archie to clear the air on how it was found and the next steps. In sports, the secondary schools track and field meet returns since 2017. The launch took place yesterday, and it's the launch of the Secondary Schools Track and Field Association Relay Festival 2023. It launched yesterday, and for the first time in the festival, there are 47 schools registered for the festival, and we're going to be joined by 3 athletes from regional schools, 4 athletes, 2 from Jamaica, 2 from Barbados, and 1 from Guyana. That's on the back page of the Newsday today. Coming up in the show this morning, we're talking about fire safety at your events this carnival season. We'll also be joined by artist and songwriter Trini Boy Juicy in our Carnival Conversation segment, and we'll continue that segment with Mr. Simon Batiste of Question Mark Entertainment. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking road safety with Arrive Alive. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
The best birthday gifts are at thebesttoys.com. Shop for the best brands you love at the best prices, like VTech, Leapfrog, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Hot Wheels, Barbie, Cocomelon, LOL, Baby Alive, Crayola. Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship MacBean. Shop online now at thebesttoys.com. Order via call or WhatsApp at 32DBEST to order. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
With society plagued by a host of issues, with debates surrounding our urgent concerns falling short, with questions of our future not always being answered,
the conversation continues. Join me, Kemuel Pascal, as the voice of the youth comes to life. We will confront the controversial topics of today's world to gain answers that are key for a better tomorrow. One and One with me, Kemuel Pascal. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Only on WESN, Content Capital.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Welcome back. Now, this morning we want to discuss the topic of road safety. Road safety is everyone's business. in 2023, I think it's very hard to say say that, you know, not one of us hasn't been affected by a road fatality. Many of us have lost loved ones, persons that we know, to road traffic accidents. And with us this morning is the manager of Arrive Alive, Mr. Jerome Skinner, and he's here to talk to us about road safety in Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Mr. Skinner. Welcome.
Good morning, Leanne.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Arrive Alive has been in existence for approximately 18 years or so.
Yes.
Can you tell us about the work done to date by your organization? I know you advocate for road safety in Trinidad and Tobago. Tell us a little bit about the work that you've done to date.
Sure. So Arrive Alive actually was started by a group of concerned citizens, basically, who were all fed up of the carnage. We think about road traffic fatalities, and sometimes we see things in the media and it speaks to the statistics and the data. But we have to remember that every time someone dies on the road, consider how many people are affected. Fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, you know what I mean? Even co-workers and teammates. There's a real emotional effect, is a traumatic effect. And Arrive Alive, our objective, our main goal is to reduce the number of fatalities on the road. So we've done a lot of work in terms of advocacy. We've done advocacy work for the breathalyzer legislation, for advocacy to have cable barriers installed, and several other elements that contribute to our safe road environment. And that's just the advocacy side. We also do a lot of education, teaching people. At the end of the day, you can put the infrastructure in place, but if people are not aware of its purpose and how to use things properly, people tend to make uninformed decisions. So we need to share that information. Right now, we're actually doing a campaign where we're going out to schools. This term, we're focusing a lot on primary schools in particular, teaching the young ones from a very young age. We want them to have the right knowledge and right skills to assess their road environment so that they can be safer on the roads. And last thing that we do, and it's just as important as the other two, is we offer support to the loved ones of those who would have died on the nation's roads.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Skinner. Tell us about your campaign for Carnival 2023.
Okay, so what we've been doing this year, we've focused heavily on our social media campaign, where really and truly what we're asking people to do is make better choices when it comes to their behavior on the roads. And I know we don't always like to look at our own behavior, but is at the end of the day, regardless of what any particular government does or does not do, we as individuals have to interact with our road environment, and we have to make the right choices. So we're going into Carnival. We have an increase in alcohol consumption. People are hustling. You're trying to get from work to the next spot. You may not be getting as much sleep as you should. And it could be a recipe for disaster. And we've seen it. The data shows historically, every year between Christmas and Carnival, we have a spike in the number of fatalities on the road. So what we've been doing in our social media campaigns, we've been getting some buy-in from some younger people who have some more experience on the road. So we've done campaigns, a few videos with Alex Powell and Melissa Seals, who are both racers, right? They are actual racers on the racetrack. And Akil Campbell, who's a cyclist, for example, right? They have a different interaction on the road than the average person, and they especially with the auto sports people, they have a better appreciation for things like speed and course, when you talk about impacts and collisions, and again, younger people appealing to their peers to make safer choices on the roads, slow down, wear your seatbelt, don't drink and drive. You know, in Aki Campbell's case, appealing to drivers to pay attention to cyclists. We don't always respect cyclists on the road and other vulnerable road users for that matter. Yeah, so the idea with our campaign, the entire campaign, is to get people to make better choices.
Okay, thanks for that. And tell us about the educational part of road safety. There are 5 E's to road safety. Can you share that with us?
Funny enough, one of those E's actually is education, right? So yeah, the 5 E's would be engineering, education, enforcement, emergency response, and evaluation. And when we look at any country or any state where we need to have a reduced number of fatalities, a reduced number of injuries on the roads, we have to look at it from those 5 points of view. I mean, we always see all the information or all the comments in the media and social media, for that matter, about the things that the Ministry of Works and Transport is supposed to do. They are responsible, of course, for the engineering. But while I agree wholeheartedly, they have that responsibility. We as individuals also have that responsibility to make the right choices. And that's where some of the education comes in. You know, a lot of us think about, oh, the police gave me a ticket, or this traffic warden, it's so unfair, right? And we don't think about how dangerous our behavior actually is, the risk involved in that behavior, right? A lot of times we develop bad habits and we need to be reminded. I'll give you a good example. As a habit, most drivers in Trinidad and Tobago, they jump in the car, they start the car, they put the car in reverse to reverse out of their driveway, and only after they've put it in drive and have started driving off, then they're stretching to put on their seatbelt. That's a bad habit we've developed, because if you think about it, when we all went to do our driver's test, if we had started that car before we put on our seatbelt, we would have failed the test. So we were taught the right thing, but somewhere along the way, we develop these bad habits. And the dangerous thing about those bad habits is, if you keep doing something and it is no consequence, you tend to think that nothing ever will happen. Yeah, so you see that with people who drink and drive. You see that with people who have a tendency to drive at excessive speeds. Nothing happened before, so they think that nothing ever will happen. When we're talking about accidents, that word accident is something that you're not expecting. It's something that's not planned. You know, and it only takes a fraction of a second for things to go wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we talk about that education, that is what we really want to get people to understand. That we need to remember is not only about the theory, which is enforcement. It's not only about that enforcement and the authorities, you know, with the big stick. If you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. But also to remember the risk involved.
Right. So how does Arrive Alive work with the government and other NGOs in your in rolling out or ensuring that these 5 E's are adhered to or managed, maintained?
Advocacy. We're constantly lobbying for improved road conditions. And when I say improved road conditions, I'm not only talking about potholes. I know usually when people hear road conditions, the automatic thing is potholes, but it's not only potholes. We had to look at things like cable barriers and guardrails, walkovers where they're positioned, and street lighting, for example, right? These are minor things, small things that can be changed, proper lane markings, right? That can improve, you know, the road environment and make it safer for all road users. So yeah, we do a lot of work in terms of encouraging various the government and through the various state bodies, we have a good relationship with the Ministry of Roads and Transport, where we're sure we're getting a listening ear. I know that they sometimes have challenges, but again, it's about keeping that communication open and constantly encouraging them to do what is necessary.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Skinner. So just before you go, I know you have some Carnival road safety tips for us. So can you please share that with us?
So, top of the list, get enough rest. You know, we're going into Carnival, and you know, we as Trinbagonians feel like we are the fetting professionals, right? Nobody could party better than a Trini. However, we need to make sure we get enough rest in between. People talk about drinking and driving, but I mean, driving tired, driving sleepy is just as dangerous as driving drunk. Of course, designate a sober driver. Don't take a chance. I mean, make that choice beforehand. Do I need to drink alcohol to enjoy myself at this event? If your answer is yes, designate a sober driver beforehand. Don't wait until you've gotten to the event and you've had a few drinks and then you're trying to decide if you are able to drive. Hire a taxi, call a friend, right? Hire a maxi, whatever you need to do, but ensure that you have a sober designated driver. Don't speed, right? Excessive speed and driving under the influence of alcohol are two of the largest contributing factors in Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to fatal road collisions. So don't speed, right? In fact, they're not going to leave you, right? Take your time, consider the speed limit, consider the road conditions. If it's dark, if it's raining, you need to slow down. Yeah? And of course, always wear your seatbelt. And when I say that, I'm not only talking about the driver and the front seat passenger, but the back seat occupants as well. Wear your seatbelts. I know it's not law for us to do it in Trinidad and Tobago, but what we found or what you realize is the seatbelt actually is designed to hold you in place in the event of a crash. So if you are involved in a crash, the driver who has on their seatbelt and the front seat passenger who have on their seatbelt will be kept in their seats. What happens to the people in the back seat who aren't wearing their seatbelt? They are thrown forward. You knock around inside the vehicle and they can not only injure or kill themselves, but they could also injure or kill the persons who are wearing their seatbelt. So it's very important. I know that one is a tough one, but you know, it's something that we need to understand and we need to change certain behaviors.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the top tips. Of course, if we do all those things, the objective, of course, is to arrive alive.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Skinner. Thanks for being here with us this morning and for sharing your Carnival road safety tips with us. Road safety is everyone's business. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss fire safety in our Carnival events. We'll be back.
All right, thank you very much.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Join me, Dr. Nalini Kokram, on WhatsApp Doc, where we discuss all your burning questions concerning health.
Trinidad and Tobago is among one of the highest risk group of patients that develop this form of genetic breast cancer.
What I'd like to take home from a short interview like this, screening. You must screen.
Because it's silent.
It's silent.
Yeah.
And because it's silent, you don't know it's there.
WhatsApp Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
I am Rondell Donowa, attorney at law and host of Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Strictly Legal is a legal program geared towards informing you, the public, of your legal rights, responsibilities, and remedies. So be viewing Thursdays 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through. Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
Sing for your lover, baby, sing for your lover.
But that is not the song.
That is my version for the Valentine's Day promo on WESN.
WESN presents its Valentine's Day promotion, Sing for Your Lover.
Send us a video of the best rendition of your favorite love song for the one you love. All contestants have a chance to win a variety of exciting prizes. Send us your entries to thecontentcapital@gmail.com. All videos will be posted to our social media pages and will be shown on WESN.
Well, okay then. Let me sing for my lover. Let me sing for my lover.
My lover.
Every day, we communicate through stories. Stories of ourselves, our challenges, our goals, our experiences, and our aspirations. Storytelling is an art that we have mastered. WESN Film Studios comprises a collaborative team of experts with extensive industry experience locally, regionally, and internationally. The ability of your business to successfully communicate with your preferred audience depends on the strength of the stories you tell. Your vision should be communicated in a high-quality, professional, and creative way. From concept to post-production, advertising to film, multi-camera productions, live events, streaming, and virtual conferencing, we are WESN Film Studio. Let your own unique voice be heard and your vision realized. Call us today at 628-5835 for your next production.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, The Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Is it politics? What is it? Is it that nobody cares about sports?
The kind of support that sport used to get in the past is no longer here.
The thing is, taking a knee doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing now, Andy.
Right.
Taking a knee along with other stuff.
Samantha, what are you looking forward to when you return home to Trinidad and Tobago after winning the title?
Thank you very much for speaking it into existence.
Is there no pressure on Nicholas Paul?
It makes me more motivated to work hard and to go out there and rep the white and black.
Why are we sending a team to the Winter Olympics?
There are a number of Trinbagonians who are in the diaspora and have grown up in winter sport. It's an opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee will not close the door on.
I also believe in the players that we have. Once you can motivate the players, you can get the best out of them.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers? Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best. I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the content capital.
The best birthday gifts are at dbesttoys.com. Shop for the best brands you love at the best prices, like VTech, Leapfrog, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Hot Wheels, Barbie, Cocomelon, LOL, Baby Alive, Crayola.
Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship MacBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. Order via call or WhatsApp at 32DBEST to order. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through. Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Seven is out, all day is in. WESN News on the hour.
Sing for your lover, baby, sing for your lover.
But that is not the song.
That is my version for the Valentine's Day promo on WESN.
WESN presents its Valentine's Day promotion, Sing for Your Lover.
Send us a video of the best rendition of your favorite love song for the one you love. All contestants have a chance to win a variety of exciting prizes. Send us your entries to thecontentcapital@gmail.com. All videos will be posted to our social media pages and will be shown on WESN.
Well, okay then. Let me sing for my lover. Let me sing for my lover.
My lover.
Fan Zone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers? Please exercise more patience.
You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best. I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the content capital.
Fan emergency, good afternoon. You said the building is on fire. Are there any persons trapped? 4 persons. What is the address of the call, ma'am? Number 4, Candy Drive, Pier Road. Can I have your name, please? Miss Bihari. Thank you, Miss Bihari. I'll be dispatching an appliance. Central Control from Fire Control.
Go ahead, Fire Control. Central Control is really over.
Central Control, have a plans and crew. Respond to our residential fire. Same is at number 4, Candy Drive, Pier Road, Chabonas. 4 persons are trapped, 2 adults, 2 children. They were unable to make contact with fire service, so she called on their behalf.
Transmission received loud and clear. Operator at Central Control, 3462. Firefighter Wiley, Central Controller.
Create an evacuation plan for you and your family and practice your escape. Always ensure you have more than one way to safely exit your home. Your lives may depend on it.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Well, that was some fire safety tips from the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services Division. Joining us this morning is Miss Lana Marie Belgrove, and she's a fire prevention officer. She's on the phone with us this morning. Are you hearing me, Miss Belgrove?
Hi, good morning, ma'am. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the fire safety tips that we just saw in on the video. Is this part of a campaign that you're currently conducting?
Yes, it is. So good morning to your listeners, and again, good morning, madam. So the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service has embarked on a campaign to work with our promoters for the event in order to provide safety for the patrons as well as to safeguard the promoters themselves.
Okay.
So we have advised that promoters, we've given them checklists when they have events, giving them some of the guidelines that they need to follow in order to ensure that there is maximum safety at each and every event that takes place in the carnival season and even outside of the carnival season.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about fire safety for events. We see
so
fire officers.
The event stands not only about the patron as the actual person, but also about the event, about the siting of the cooking for the patron, for the persons that are doing the cooking at the event. We're talking about the structures, the stages. We're talking about the electrical requirements that need to be remained, signage in order to ensure that the patrons are aware of the emergency exits, ensure that they are aware of the washroom facilities. We're ensuring that the patrons are aware if we have any pyrotechnics, as well as the promoters are aware of the requirements they need to adhere to in the event of fireworks or any kind of additional risks, fire breathers. So these are some of the things we are taking into consideration when doing our inspections of the venues. So we liaise with the promoters to ensure that we could do a site visit, to ensure maximum security, maximum safety. Because sometimes when we think about safety at an event, we only think about the security aspect of it. But we have to be mindful that the patrons need to be protected in the event of an emergency, as well as even not in the event of an emergency. Trip hazards are identified to ensure that the patrons aren't injured during the event.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
And we see, we go to the carnival fetes, or as you said, even outside of carnival, the large concerts and that kind of stuff, and we see fire officers at the event on patrol. What is the purpose of the fire officers at the event on the day of the event?
So on the day of the event, the fire officers are there for fire and life safety coverage. So we have to be mindful of the load that we are talking about is the electrical load. There is a possibility of a fire. We're talking about thousands of persons gathering. In the event there is any kind of stampede, in the event there is an incident, in the event a person is ill or falls sick, we provide ambulance coverage at the event so that the persons can get to an incident. Imagine trying to come out of a place like Shagarama, where there is one road in, one road out, and you have a sick person, and you are responsible now for taking this person out. We're providing ambulance coverage as well. So we are there to ensure the safety of the patron at the event, to ensure that in the event of any type of emergency, accident, or incident, we are there to respond.
Okay. And as it pertains to promoters of these events, what are the steps or what is the advice given to promoters by the fire services?
So the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service implores the promoters to liaise with us as early as possible, because they are aware they have licenses to apply for an event, to have events, but they often don't come to us early enough for us to do all of the things that need to be done. We'd like them to liaise with us early so that we could give them our event requirements. We could give them the safety checklist so that they can be aware of the expected requirements for their stages. Again, as we said, there's temporary structures, siting of their extinguishers, siting of their food courts. And the fire prevention section is open to liaising with promoters, giving them the support, giving them ideas, as to what has to be done.
Okay. Well, thanks again. We've just run out of time. Ms. Belgrove, thank you very much for joining us this morning to share with us on fire safety in our carnival events.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a great day.
We're coming back with more AM Prime after this break.
Join me, Dr. Nalini Kokram, on WhatsApp Doc, where we discuss all your burning questions concerning health.
Trinidad and Tobago is among one of the highest risk group of patients that develop this form of genetic breast cancer.
What I'd like to take home from a short interview like this, screening. You must screen.
Because it's silent.
It's silent.
Yeah.
And because it's silent, you don't know it's there.
WhatsApp Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers? Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best. I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the Content Capital.
Welcome back. Joining us now for our Carnival Conversation segment via Zoom, we have Mr. Rodel Sozano, also known as Trini Boy Juicy. Welcome, Mr. Sozano.
Morning, good morning. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
We want to jump right into it. Our Carnival Conversation this morning is about Trini Boy Juicy finding his voice, his music, advocating for soca music in the United Kingdom. But more importantly, or just recently, you appeared on the UK, Voice UK. Tell us a bit about your experience. It recently concluded, it just aired, finished airing. Tell us about your experience during participating in that show.
Yeah, I think it was, the best way to describe it was an exciting, mind-blowing experience. You know, I was able to be myself as an artist. I was the only, and I believe I'm the only soca artist to feature on the show for the 9 years it's been. I reached the semi-finals of the show, and I guess it sort of made me a household name within the UK and the music industry within the UK for promoting soca music. Yeah, amazing. I reached, as I mentioned, the semi-finals, so it was thousands of people, applicants, and it went down to a couple hundreds, and then it was top 40, and then it was 20, and then top 10, you know, and I was in there. So it was a great opportunity for me to, you know, I guess put our music on the map in that sense within the mainstream music industry in the UK, and to introduce new audiences to our music.
And what was the reception like? You made it to the top 10, so that means over the course of the show, you would have exposed a number of people to soca music. What was the experience, the reception, do you think, of the judges, the audience, the persons in the crowd? How do you think they felt about it?
Yeah, I mean, numbers-wise, mine was actually the most viewed episodes. So for the 4 weeks that I was on, it was the most viewed. So we had over, I believe, about 9 million people would have viewed and engaged throughout the show. Actually, my audition went viral within the world, you know, where people in America, people within Africa, you know, as well as within Europe, was, I guess they was amazed to see and hear that soca music on such a mainstream show in its rawest and purest form, you know. And the reception was amazing. You know, a lot of people, I think they felt culturally attached to it because, you know, they always say, you know, our music is not usually represented within these platforms. So it was, yeah, that was a huge opportunity for me to put the stamp within the industry and introduce them to what we have, which is beautiful, which is soca music.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. Congratulations on your experience thus far. Now, we know that soca music, we know about Notting Hill Carnival, we know that soca music has a presence in the UK. Tell us about how you've been using your platform to promote the art form and the culture in the UK.
So yeah, actually I'm also an ambassador for Notting Hill Carnival, so I have been for the last 4 years. For me, as an active artist, I've been an active performing artist for the last 12 years. So doing festivals to live showcases. Sometimes, you know, when they bring artists up from Trinidad, from here, from all over the world, you know, they'll usually call me. So I am seen as one of the young pioneers for soca in the UK. Pushing the boundaries of where you're hearing soca music. So not just within the diaspora, but introducing it to new audiences in different places like festivals where you wouldn't expect to hear it or see it live. And for me, I've always been pioneering the fact that not just pigeonholing or thinking it's only for carnival time. I've always been an advocate for promoting it throughout the year, you know. And yeah, it's been an honor, it's been a pleasure. And the journey continues, you know. Okay.
And you are based in the UK. Tell us, what inspires you? What motivates you? You're Trinidadian born, but you're based in the UK, performing in the UK, advocating for soca music and Trinidad and Tobago culture. What motivates you to keep going, to keep doing that?
You know, leaving here at a young age, so I was a young panelist. I played for New Tones 98 and I migrated to the UK. And, you know, culture has always been the foundation of who I am as an individual, you know. It's been the root of my identity, what I represent, you know, and using soca as an outlet to really express that and to bring communities, not just Trinbagonians, but the Caribbean diaspora and also people who may feel, you know, close to the culture. So for me, it's always been important to, you know, share and spread that message. And yeah, I mean, going on the show, you know, I was surprised. I was very surprised because a lot of people reached out and said, you know, they are grateful, they're happy to finally have representation. So I guess it's more meaning than just performing in fets, but it's also people knowing that they have representation within the music industry and they can relate too, you know.
All right, well, let's move on to your music for Carnival 2023. Tell us a little bit about Carnival 2023.
Yeah, so I actually came in last night. So right now is almost lunch. I'm in London, so my timing is off right now, right? But I came in last night. I'm here for the Carnival season. I am here. It's the first time I'm obviously touching home since The Voice. I've just released a song called Wine in Paris. So it was, again, released via BBC One Extra a couple of weeks ago. Capital Extra, which are mainstream radio stations in the UK. Yeah, the song is streaming. It's going good. And I'm here to perform. You know, I'm here to work, to really promote, you know, what I'm doing. And I'm also behind one of the big songs for the season too. So, you know, things happening, which is good.
You're going to share with us which song that is?
You know the song, Don't Worry Lover?
Yes.
Don't Worry, with Mikel Tejarai. I co-wrote that song. So big up Teja. I love what he's doing right now. I love the impact this song is creating. And yeah, I'm here. We're here to work. We have a lot of stuff actually happening, but we're gonna make sure that we're in everything, as they say, like salt.
Oh, like a true Trinidad and Tobagonian. Where can we see you? Look forward to seeing you perform for the season.
So there's a few places. So what I would say is engage on to my social media, which is at TriniBoyJuicy. So the Juicy is JOOCIE. And we're gonna keep posting stuff up there. And yeah, stay tuned, man. You know, it's gonna be intense, but I'm here. I'm ready. You know, finally, after 2 years of not being in the soil, you know, I'm happy to be here.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us in our Carnival Conversation segment. All the best to you for your Carnival 2023 season and beyond for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
We're heading to the news at the top of the hour, and when we come back, we have more Carnival Conversations. Stay tuned.
No problem. Thank
With
you.
society plagued by a host of issues, with debates surrounding our urgent concerns falling short, with questions of our future not always being answered,
the conversation continues. Join me, Kemuel Pascal, as the voice of the youth comes to life. We will confront the controversial topics of today's world to gain answers that are key for a better tomorrow. One and One with me, Kemuel Pascal. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Only on WESN, Content Capital.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers? Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best. I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in-depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the Content Capital.
Fan Zone, Your reliable, authentic supplier has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Is it politics? What is it that nobody cares about sports?
The kind of support that sport used to get in the past is no longer here.
The thing is, taking a knee doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing on it.
Right.
Taking a knee along with other stuff.
Samantha, what are you looking forward to when you return home to Trinidad and Tobago after winning the title?
Thank you very much for speaking it into existence.
Is it no pressure on Nicholas Ball?
It makes me more motivated to work hard and to go out there and rep the white and black.
Why are we sending a team to the Winter Olympics?
There are a number of Trinbagonians who are in the diaspora and have grown up in winter sport. It's an opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee will not close the door on.
I also believe in the players that we have. Once you can motivate the players, you can get the best out of them.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to continue our Carnival Conversation segment now. And joining us this morning is Mr. Simon Baptiste of Question Mark Entertainment, of everything entertainment in Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome, Mr. Baptiste. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for joining us here.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
So tell us, you are here to talk entertainment, Carnival 2023, and I know you have 20 plus years experience in entertainment, talent management, that kind of stuff. What does it take to effectively manage an event, particularly during the Carnival season?
Well, I think it's actually a little bit more stressful during the Carnival season as opposed to any other time of year because you're basically trying to work with very limited resources to do your event because everyone's doing events. And the way that the industry is set up, you know, we have I guess you could say, a number of production companies that are involved in this business that each have a certain amount of, let's say, equipment or resources. So when you have, you know, a dozen plus events happening on one night, you know, you're stretched really thin. So your planning and the process that goes into getting an event ready requires a lot more hard work, I think. And you need to ensure that the team that you have together, they're an effective unit in terms of being able to put together, you know, something of this nature. So it's a lot different and it can be very challenging, but it's worth it if you do it right and, of course, if you get the support.
Okay, thank you. Now, you would have had your own challenges in managing putting on events such as the Soca Monarch competition in 2020 that you produced. Tell us, give us, I know you would have had an opinion on the 2023 Soca Monarch or lack thereof.
Right.
Can you tell us, give us a little insight into how you feel about the fact that there is no 2023 Soca Monarch and why, the reasoning behind?
Well, I was responsible as a creative director for two Soca Monarchs, which was 2020 and 2021, which was the one that we held during the pandemic. And I had an opportunity to really see how this machine operates internally. I think that the issue with Soca Monarch, of course, has been one in which there's a lot of dependency. right? It's dependency on the government to help, or dependency on outside forces, so that it literally has moved from probably a well-oiled dynamic in regards to producing an event series to one in which it stalls because it's constantly looking to others for help, right? The cash prize money, various things in order to make it attractive, I guess. And I didn't have a lot to do with the financials in regards to the event. I really and truly was more responsible for trying to come up with a creative plan for making it operate. But I do feel that there's a lot of baggage that this event has carried throughout the years. There's a lot of angst towards it. And I guess I was one of those who also felt that way, because I've managed talent that's participated in the event, and there are times when I felt very frustrated at it. But once I took part as a creative in terms of producing the event, there were good things I realized about it as well. I felt as if it was a forum for discovering new talent. I felt as if it was an opportunity for artists to really demonstrate their skill sets in a different way, outside of just running on stage and doing a normal performance. And I think beyond the carnival season and the good it does in terms of employing people, what Soca Monarch does is a bit of a trumpet card for performers to go outside and to talk about Soca Monarch to the rest of the world. But more importantly, as an organization, it also helps and has helped many artists get work permits, right? For them to go abroad and perform. So, I mean, I saw the good and I saw the bad. And I do think that it's something that unfortunately is going to be missed. And I don't really know if I have much more to say about it than that. I think it is something that we should do every year, but it has to be thought of differently, and it has to be worked on continuously throughout the year, not, let's say, someone like myself being called a couple of weeks before the event to try to put it together. I mean, that's, as an event producer, I mean, we usually take 6 months to a year to produce an event that we do. So the idea of trying to do one in 3 weeks has always just been unimaginable,
Okay. Do you think there is a possibility for this event to be reimagined, to be brought back, to come back bigger and better in 2024, possibly with the right investment, not just financial, as you said, but there's also a public sentiment that it's dead, and there's no need for it, or there's use for it. But you yourself just listed quite a few benefits, not just to local artists, but also international artists. Do you think that there's a possibility that this event can be reimagined, reinvented, and come back to the carnival, in the carnival scene?
Well, I definitely think so. I mean, I feel as if as long as you have a really good team, it starts there. Because you need a good team, you need leaders that really understand, what it is that you're trying to do, what you're trying to shape. And then you need the ability to work on it over a period of time and develop or reignite the confidence in the public by doing programs that go outside of just the Fantastic Friday. You know what I mean? You need to be able to go into communities, create incubators and workshops, activations that really get people interested and enthused about the brand and what it can do for soca music, right? Because soca music in itself is an art form that is being lost now to our youths, right? They're no longer, every year that goes by, I feel as if, we see less and less participation by our young people in the art form. So I do think it's necessary. I do think that we need to put more effort into imagining it, and I do think it's possible to bring it back. I've never really listened to those stories about, Marshall's concept being something that's like the nail in the coffin, because I've always felt that that's a whole different audience anyway. I just think that that the leadership for it needs to reconsider, how this thing works and what needs to be done. But it needs to happen immediately, and it needs to happen continuously for it to be successful in 2024.
Okay, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot by asking you this question, but are you willing to take up the task, if asked to do so, to bring back Soca Monarch?
I think anything is possible within the realm of those who are in control of their willingness, I guess, to say, to be forthcoming, to communicate, and more importantly, to really believe in the brand and invest in it. I mean, if those things are happening, then I think that I would have an interest. But until, I can see that, or even the public can see that, I think we'll all remain somewhat, skeptical and maybe a little sad, because it's really just unfortunate that we're even having a discussion that is not happening,
Yes. Okay, well, let's move on to Simon Batiste, the talent manager, the entertainment guru, 20 plus years in the business with Question Mark Entertainment. You also provide film and audio production services. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, 20 years, God, I can't really believe it's been that long, right? But yeah, it's been a while. So, I mean, I run a firm that's involved in 3 different divisions: talent management, we've mentioned; concert production or event production, we've mentioned; and of course, film production. So we've done a number of short films throughout the years, and we've also done a number of music videos where we've acted either as a producer or an executive producer. I've become a little bit more familiar in the last 2 years with what's going on within our film industry. And I really see a disparity that exists between the young filmmakers and, I guess you could say, the seasoned or veteran filmmakers. I recognize that there's something that needs to be done for sure. And I'm not trying to propose that I'm a leader that can make any sort of change for it, because I just recognize that, we're too much crabs in a barrel anyway. My suggestion is that as we move forward and we get involved in more film projects, we really have to be aware of, how this marketplace is being shaped and what it is that needs to be done, but the dependency on others to get it done, meaning government institutions, grants, etc., we need to kind of throw that out the window. And we really need to take models in which we focus instead on just creating product and working together harmoniously to get that product without always having money as the main thing that requires stuff to get done. And why I say that is because I just came back from a trip where I went to Colombia, and I saw and I had a chance to meet with these amazing creatives from what some may consider to be impoverished communities, who are making incredible shorts, documentaries, and feature films, and they're practically doing it all together with the most limited of resources, and the product does not only match with what we're doing, is sometimes far superior to what we're doing. So I think that there are cases that I've come across recently where I'm inspired, but I also feel that looking at the situation here locally, we do a lot of talking, we do a lot of bad talking, and we do less focusing on what the end goal is. And maybe we just need to get to that part where we just have end goals,
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And where do you see, what is the vision for yourself and for your company in the film industry, whether it's locally or outside?
Well, I think right now, I mean, we want to get more involved in the creation of documentaries. I feel as if there's a market that has opened up, especially since the pandemic, where streaming companies are looking for documentary product. And so we are focusing our energies on that. We're currently working on a film on Peter Minshall and the story of the tall boys, which are, you may have seen those crazy inflatable things that sometimes fly outside of, like, car shops, I'm trying to think of all these various places you've seen, like Fireworks had them right in front to attract people's attention to what they were doing recently for Christmas, for example. And that was a design and manufactured good by Peter Minshall that was introduced during the Olympics in 1996 in Atlanta. And we're doing a story not just on that, but on Peter Minshall's contributions, to the world in terms of his iconic creations. And it's been going great. We've been getting support, and we're really just trying to continue making product like that allows people to know about, who we are, as citizens of this world and what our creative contributions are.
Okay. And Question Mark Entertainment has recently ventured into the application development sphere. Tell us a bit about your journey into app development and why. Why app development?
Yeah. Well, I think it's just, it's just something that everyone is aware of, and it's something that it is such an easy tool to use, particularly on your phones, if you have, an app or service that can benefit you, whether it's a Waze or an Airbnb type service. I mean, they're these great apps that exist online. We recently formed an organization called ODOS. It stands for 1 Degree of Separation. And what we're doing is we're in the beta stages of really understanding our creative communities, how to bring them together, and the things that need to be done in order to engineer positive change. That in itself has been quite a journey, and one that I have to tell you, when you're creating these application programs, there's a lot of tweaking and a lot of understanding of the people that you're working with within your communities to find out what the problems are and how you solve them. So that's what we're about. That's what we're trying to do. And the hope is that within the next year, we could have a properly functioning app that can help those creatives that are island connected throughout the world in terms of producing, their product and their marketable items for everyone to see.
Okay. Well, thank you so very much for your time this morning, Mr. Batiste. Wishing you all the best in your future endeavors. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much. All right, you take care. Okay. All the best for Carnival.
Thank you. We're going to take a quick break. There's more AM Prime coming up.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers? Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best. I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WASN,
the content capital.
Is it politics? What is it? Is it that nobody cares about sports?
The kind of support that sport used to get in the past is no longer here.
The thing is, taking a knee doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing now, Andre.
Right.
Taking a knee along with other stuff.
Samantha, what are you looking forward to when you return home to Trinidad and Tobago after winning the title?
Thank you very much for speaking it into existence.
Is there no pressure on Nicholas Ball?
It makes me more motivated to work hard and to go out there and rep the red, white and black.
Why are we sending a team to the Winter Olympics?
There are a number of Trinbagonians who are in the diaspora and have grown up in winter sport. It's an opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee will not close the door on.
I also believe in the players that we have. Once you can motivate the players, you can get the best out of them.
Every day, we communicate through stories. Stories of ourselves, our challenges, our goals, our experiences, and our aspirations. Storytelling is an art that we have mastered. WESN Film Studios comprises a collaborative team of experts with extensive industry experience locally, regionally, and internationally. The ability of your business to successfully communicate with your preferred audience depends on the strength of the stories you tell. Your vision should be communicated in a high-quality, professional, and creative way. From concept to post-production, advertising to film, multi-camera productions, live events, streaming, and virtual conferencing, we are WESN Film Studio. Let your own unique voice be heard and your vision realized. Call us today at 628-5835 for your next production.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Our Watch This segment this morning features one of the bands who performed at the Panorama semi-finals competition last Sunday, and they came out at the top of their category. BP Renegades achieving the most scores during the performance on Sunday. Take a look.
The president of the band, Mr. Colin Reeves. The captain of the band, Candice Andrews Brumont. Vice captain, Cleveland King. The bands were tuned by Mario Joseph and Juma Simmons. Their tune of choice, the 1991 classic song, Feeling to Party, composed and sung by Dr. Leroy Calise. Black Stalin, Drill Master Andrew Charles, Arranger Duvon Stewart. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome, playing in position number 14, BP Renegades Orchestra.
That was BP Renegades heading to the Panorama Large Band Finals on February 18th at the Queen's Park, Savannah. That's how we wrap the show this morning. You're tuned on to AM Prime here at WESN. Be sure to stay tuned for Talking Point at the top of the hour with Keaton and Sean. Check us out on all our socials at WSNCC. And to get in contact with us here on AM Prime, email us at amprimewesncc@gmail.com. I'm Leanne Jones. Do have a productive day. See you again tomorrow.
WESN.
I am Kemuel Pascal, and we are WESN.